everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sandra, and today I'm working on my master bathroom, and it has been severely neglected. And you're gonna see it was quite a mess. There's so much in this video. I did speed it up a good bit because it is jam-packed, and I ran into a few problems, which is what happens when you neglect things. And if you hang in there with me, you'll see just how bad it got. I know I used quite a few Lysol wipes on that toilet, but toilets gross me out, so I know that seems wasteful, but it's the toilet. And I did clean behind the toilet, but I edited that out because in that little cubby hole, my hiney was in the air the whole time, and I figured you would not want to look at my hiney in the air. I was thinking this was going to be just a simple cleaning of the bathroom, but at this point I'm realizing just how dusty everything is, how nasty the walls look, and I'm getting kind of discouraged right here because it's just really much messier than I thought it was, and I realized that it's not going to be a simple job. I hate cleaning that shower because I feel like I don't get it clean, and it has stains in it. It's been in the house since we moved in here, and I scrub the bottom always with Comet, and I clean the walls. I usually use my mop to clean the walls, but sometimes I scrub it, but it just seems to never get as clean as I want it. And I've tried everything on the stains, but I can't get them off, and I really need to replace it, but I'm working with what I have right now, so I'm gonna have to wait on that. You're probably noticing that now I have on jeans, and that is because I had to run a quick errand after I scrubbed the shower. So when I got back, I just still had my jeans on, and I did pull up my hair because I realized this was going to be a serious job, so I had to get my hair out of my face. I know you're probably thinking, is she fixing to sit down and shave her legs? But no, I stopped to wash my feet because I was walking around on the floor barefooted, and I just mopped the floor. So I wanted to wash my feet and put on my mop socks. You'll see what my mop socks are in just a minute. My kid makes fun of me about my mop socks, but I really like them, and you can get them on Amazon. on the wall beside my mirror, I have this huge spot, and I have another real bad spot here, and then down here. I'm not sure what that is, but right here, this is where I had a candle sitting down here on the counter. Down here, I had a candle on the counter, and I guess it got too close to the wall, and it did this. And then I think it ended up, now I wasn't here when this happened. My husband had the candle burning. I think it got too low and like the bottom of it cracked. Anyway, it was a big mess, nearly caught on fire. So be careful with your candles. But I never was able to get this off, and I don't have any more of this yellow paint because I painted this a long time ago. So I'm gonna try to get these spots off. I tested a little spot right there, that's why it's lighter right there. So I'm going to use this Mr. Clean magic eraser to get that off. So that's what I'm going to do and see if it works. So far, so good. So the magic eraser did a good job trying to get that off the wall. It still had a few streaks left on it, but I mean, it was not nearly as bad as it was. And I decided that I was just going to go ahead and wash down all the walls. I normally would do that first when I'm deep cleaning, but I really wasn't planning on deep cleaning the bathroom because I honestly didn't realize how bad it was. So I went ahead and decided that I would just wipe down all the walls after I got finished working on that. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Sandra and I live in Alabama, and I'm married and I have one daughter. She's in high school, and my husband, he is retired. He's been battling cancer for many years, and he is quite the fighter. His name is Randy, and my daughter is in high school. She is quite a handful, and sometimes you'll hear me say my kids, but I don't really have more than one kid, but there's always a lot of kids here, and I consider them all mine. I am fairly new to making videos on YouTube. I'm not new to YouTube, but I'm new having my own channel. So I would love for you to subscribe and leave me a comment and let me know something about yourself. And thank you for checking out my videos. I don't think I've ever seen that much stuff on my bathroom countertop, but that's what happens, I guess, whenever you get busy and you don't put things away. And I'm bad about that. I just let it pile up, and it was so nasty whenever I got finished putting everything away and wiping everything down. I could not believe how bad it was and how much dust was everywhere. I almost didn't even make this video because I was so embarrassed by how bad it was, and you're gonna see even worse whenever I get to the baseboards. those light fixtures are outdated, but I can't change them out right now. And that's one of the reasons that I started my YouTube channel, was because I have so many things that need to be done at my house and so many projects that need to be done, but I am on a tight budget. Whenever you have a teenager and a sick husband, you just can't spend a lot of money on your house. And I thought maybe I can encourage someone else out there who's in the same situation to, work with what they have and make the best of it. So I'm not going to change those things out. In my future videos, you're going to see me trying to work with what I have here and make my home a better place. I'm using magic eraser on the tough spots, and then I sprayed everything down with Lysol to disinfect it. But there were other cleaners that you've seen me using. I did use Comet on the tub and in the sinks, and then I had a different bottle in my hand that wasn't marked, and that had Dawn dishwashing liquid and vinegar in it. And lots of Lysol wipes. So see, this is my husband's side of the bathroom, and it stays a mess, and I just don't clean it. I depend on him to clean it because I don't use this side of the bathroom. But he's bad about lighting candles, just like that other little incident on the other side. And he did not tell me that he burned the countertop. So I see another YouTube video in my near future. I think I'll probably be painting the countertop because there's a huge burn spot, and he had a towel sitting there covering it up. He thinks he's slick because he covered it up and I didn't know about it. It looks pretty bad too. I would say that's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad burn spot. Now, do I know that a candle did it? No, I don't know for sure. But I know what's happened before. He lets it burn down too far, and then the glass breaks, and it causes that to happen. And so it's in a perfect circle. So I'm almost positive that that would be another candle incident that he just didn't tell me about. So I'm sure you could be expecting another video about me painting the countertop. I know the lighting is so bad in the bathroom that you can barely tell what I'm doing, but I was cleaning off his countertop, and he has tons of cologne sitting out. And of course, he had all his shaving cream and that kind of thing sitting out. So I have him a basket. That's what you see me putting in the cabinet there. I have all his cologne in one basket, and then I put all his shaving supplies in another basket, and then he also has a basket that his toothbrush and all that's in. So I was putting all that stuff away, but I had to clean it all off because he's had it on the counter and it's all dusty. So I had to put all that stuff away before I could even clean the sink. I'm trying to get up the where he burned the countertop. I'm trying to scrape up where, I mean, it actually burned up the countertop. Let's see if I can show you any closer. So, I mean, I'm scraping off the pieces where it like really burned it. It's pretty bad. I might can fix it though. I mean, I might can disguise it. I don't know. I'll have to work on it and see. Not tonight. That'll be another video. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'm gonna try to fill it in maybe with Bondo. He did a good job on that, didn't he? I'm using Wood for Good to clean my cabinets right there, and it smells so good. I love the smell of that stuff. And then I am cleaning the walls and the baseboards with that Purple Power degreaser, and the baseboards are terrible. And I know I just cleaned those baseboards not long ago, and they look like they've never been cleaned. I mean, they are just nasty. And I could not believe how bad they looked, and I was totally grossed out by it. It was just nasty. But if you spray degreaser on them, it comes right off. And the door, I don't know why that's so shaky right there, but the doors, the little crevices in the doors, they come clean real easy, usually with the degreaser as well. But I noticed that these doors have paint that's just peeling really bad. It's got several bubbled spots, and I wasn't planning on doing anything with that today, but as I cleaned it, it was just getting to me. The doors look so bad, and they're dusty and they're dirty, and they really need a fresh coat of paint. I mean, they look terrible. It was quite disgusting. And I also noticed that There were several places where the caulk had worn off really bad around the baseboards, and that looked really bad. And sometimes caulk can make a world of difference on how things look. And I had some here, so I whipped out the caulk and I started filling the holes in the baseboards. And I noticed also in front of my tub and in front of my shower stall that needed caulk as well. If you cut that tip at a little bit of an angle, you can get a good bead of caulk there, and then I just use my finger and a wet rag, a wet paper towel, to go over it and smooth it out. And it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. And if you keep your rag damp, it keeps the caulk from sticking so bad to your fingers and to the rag, and it's not quite as messy. And I couldn't resist. I had to get that peel and paint off those doors because it was driving me crazy. And I was not planning to do that today. This turned into craziness, but I got my little scraper out and I just started peeling all that paint, just scraping it off, and it just came right off. I used a scraper and a little flat razor blade, and most of it peeled. It just peeled off so easy. Now, that's in the little crevices, it was a little harder to get out, and I thought it would lift out of there, but if you have a heat gun, you can heat it for just a minute and pull it right out of there, but I didn't have a heat gun, so I had to scrape it off and sand it. I made sure as I went that I swept up all the paint shavings as I went along so that I didn't make a bigger mess, because it does make quite a mess when you do this, and I didn't want to mess up my bathroom since I just worked so hard cleaning it. I didn't want the dust or the shavings tracked all through the house, so I just made sure that I kept my broom right there and I just swept everything up as I went, and it wasn't that bad. Okay, I'm back, and it's a new day. I had to quit yesterday because it was just too much. This was like cleaning the bathroom gone haywire. So as I was finishing up the bathroom, I thought, it would just look so much better in here if I would caulk the baseboards and get them looking better. Well, then I got to looking at the doors, and the paint is peeling off the doors. And I don't know why people put walk-in closets in the bathroom, but that's just the way the house was built. Well, when I moved in this house, I went through the house and I totally primed and repainted everything in here. I sanded everything, but I didn't do the bathroom doors in this bathroom. And the reason that I didn't was because they looked like they were freshly painted, so I just cleaned them up and left them. Well, what I did not know was that the previous owners evidently just painted on the bare door. They did not put a primer on the door. Well, if you don't put a primer on it, it's gonna eventually peel off. Now, I've been in this house a while, so it lasted a good bit. I mean, it did. It lasted several years. But as I got to looking at it, I just couldn't handle it. So this turned into a full-blown DIY project. But that's okay. It needed to be done. I have 2 doors that were really bad. And then I have 2 doors that were not that bad. In fact, one doesn't look bad at all. But 2 of them on the outside of the door that shows, it was just, I mean, the paint, it was just peeling like off in layers. So what I had to do was I scraped all the paint off, and then I sanded as much as I could around it, did a light sanding on the door. Now I'm gonna put a primer on those doors and I'm gonna repaint them. And I have stuff here. I have some leftover primer and paint here to do that with. So that really won't cost me anything. I have one door that just had a few bad spots, and I sanded over that real good, and I'm gonna paint it as well. I'm gonna prime it and then paint it. I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay, so this is one door that I worked on. And notice that, like, right here, like, it was really, you know, it's hard to get the paint out of these little spots. So I just sanded over that, and I'm gonna prime over it. These little grooves, it's just really hard to get every little speck of paint. I thought it would peel off, like the whole thing would peel out of there, but it didn't. Some of that was just really hard to get off, so I just sanded over that. So I did that door. Okay, so then the other door, is here. It looks just like that one, same thing. So you know, scraped off as much paint as I could get and then sanded that one down as well. Now this one over here is not as bad. It had a couple of bad spots up top, one little bad section there, and it had a bad section at the bottom. And I sanded over the whole door, just lightly sanded it. And I'm gonna try to prime it and paint it without actually scraping everything off of it. So maybe that will work. So now I'm ready to get this done and get this finished, because this has turned into a big, big job. coat of primer on the doors, and I went ahead and put a coat of primer on all the trim work around the bottom where I'd caulked. And I'm gonna just go ahead and touch up all the trim work in here. Some of the trim work really looks bad and needs to be changed out, but I'm working with what I got. So I think this will make it look a lot better. The caulking made things look a lot better, especially like around the tub. So that's where I recalked, and it made a huge difference. It looks a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a fresh coat of paint over that too and touch that up. And then the next thing that I'll have to do, I've got to let this dry. When I put this primer on there, I have to let it, it says let it dry an hour, but just to be safe, I let it dry a couple hours before I went back and did the second coat. And so now I'm gonna let this dry for another hour, and then I'm gonna go back over it with my regular paint. What's next? I actually used less than a quart of paint on all 4 doors. I put 2 coats on each door, and I used Glidden door and trim paint, the high gloss white. I'm gonna clean up in here again really quickly and put my bathroom back together. I did not paint, I painted the 2 closet doors, and then I have 2 doors going to the master bedroom. I only painted this side of the doors that go into the master bedroom, and the other side is gonna be a project for later because I have neglected the rest of my house these past 2 days, and the laundry is real. So I've got to get to that. So I gotta wrap this up. There are still several things I need to do in here, and I do plan to do those things in the future, But for now, at least it's clean. It's better than it was, and the doors are so much better. And I'll show you the doors real quick.